Hello guys and welcome back to the finale of The Mole, and this is it. We're finding out who the mole is, and I gotta say, I feel pretty vindicated, I won't lie. I know I've been on a little bit of a journey this series on who I thought the mole was, but all I'm gonna say is, I called it from episode 1. Episode 1. I actually can't remember whether I included it in the episode, but it's in my notes about who I thought it was, and all I'm gonna say is I was right. So I'm feeling pretty vindicated right now. But that doesn't mean that we don't have a whole episode to talk about. So let's get into it, shall we? So going into this episode, my final prediction was Michael, but I also had suspect on Sean, and then Moona. I was like, no, she's definitely innocent. She's fine. So going into the final challenge, the final challenge was, it was a tough one because it should have been so easy and me and my friend bossed it. But obviously you've got people who are just trying to cause so much trouble and so much, and it was so painful to watch. It really was, because you've got them all trying to memorize these patterns for the minefield, right? There's a minefield, they've got to cross it, and they've got to memorize a pattern. They've got 20 minutes to do so. 20 minutos. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this should be a fairly simple challenge. All they got to do is memorize 2 forward, 1 to the left, up 4, 1 to the right, up 5, etc, like that. It's easy peasy stuff. So tell me why they were so bad at this challenge. But not even so bad. Why they purposely ruined the challenge multiple times. Sean took the first one, got all the way to the end, and then decided to muck it up at the end. Decided to be like, I'ma just throw some suspicion on myself. Okay, cool. So then we had it was just blatantly ignoring the instruction. They were going, go right, go right, go right, or go left, or go left, or go left, and he went the opposite way. And I was sitting there going, actually, you're annoying me now. Yeah, you're starting to wind me up, and now I'm starting to think that you're the mole. I'm starting to think you're the mole, because also, what do you mean? What do you mean you just decided to do that? Are you a player who is just trying to muck things up, or are you actually the mole? What's going on here? And then you've got Michael doing the exact same thing on a longer course. He gets all the way to the end, and then he just decides to go, now I'm going to listen to myself. Oh, God. Oh, it was the most painful moment in all of this show. It was more painful. No, actually, nothing will ever be as painful as you said blue, so I cut yellow. That will forever go down as the most frustrating reality show moment I've ever watched in my whole life. I don't think I have ever watched someone below 10k like that in my life. Quite literally below 10k. Oh, goodness. I'm still upset about that. It's been a whole week and a half since I watched it, and I'm still angry and upset. I'm still upset. I can't get over it. I really can't. It's going to haunt me forever. Yeah. And then we come to the last one. Moona knew what she was doing. She'd memorized the whole thing, but she thought, I'm going to let them direct me. And then Sean kept trying to tell her the wrong directions. And she was like, rah, it's got to be Sean then. Surely it's got to be Sean. Surely it has to be. And I was sitting there like, I mean, fair enough. Fair enough if you're calling out Sean. But I was still kind of more on Michael's line. Michael being like, oh, I'm sure it's this one. Like, at least Sean was open about the fact that he was blatantly doing it on purpose. But Michael was like, no, I'm sure it's this one. I'm going to go with my gut. And then got it wrong. I was like, that sounds like a moley thing to say. Yeah, mole. So out of a possible 50k, they only managed to make 25 of that, which is decent. It's an all right amount, and there was £154,000 up for offer by the end of the competition. But it still just wound me up. I was so pissed off Because I was like, I can't get over the fact that there are people in this competition who are actively losing money just to look like the mole. Like, oh, it's so incredibly frustrating. It makes me so angry because I just think, like, actually, you could have been over 200k by this point if you'd have just not fucked around and found out. You could have been well over 200k, but you all just kept fucking around and finding out, and it's so frustrating. It's so annoying. Ah! I feel like I'd be the best mole in this kind of situation, but I would hate to play this game as a player and just be like, oh, guys, can we stop sabotaging, please? Can only one person sabotage, and then it's really easy to work out who it is? Please, 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 please. I feel like this season got a lot more tactical with people purposely sabotaging in order to make other people vote for them. I thought that was actually a really interesting strategy that people started to adopt in this series. So I can't fault it. They've done a good job to get this far. But my goodness, it made it, the hand started to swing a little bit, I won't lie. So, the final three, they take the quiz. They take the quiz. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, right, okay. So, Muna and Michael have both gone for Sean. Sean has gone, I think, for Michael. So, really, I had no idea what was going to happen here. I really, really didn't. Me and my friend were sitting there. We were like, right, okay, we're going to find out who the mole is. And then we want to see like an in-depth, okay, this is what I did for each challenge. Fortunately, they did give us that, which was really, really nice. But first of all, who was the mole? The mole was Sean. And I feel pretty vindicated, I won't lie. Like I said at the start of the video, I feel very happy that it was Sean because I called out Sean in the very, very first episode. I called out Sean in the third episode. I called out Sean in the fourth episode. I called out Sean in... Let me just have a look back through my notes. So yeah, the first, the second I didn't. The third I did. He's in my notes. And then... Who else? Sean in episode 4. In episode 5, also Sean. In episode 6, Sean. In episode 7, I didn't put any at the end. Episode 8, episode 7 and 8, I was kind of more on Ryan. Because you guys started going, no, I don't think it is Sean. No, I don't think it is. Purely because I don't think they make it that obvious by revealing that he is actually an undercover cop. That was the best thing that they could have possibly done. Because he literally said in his video, which I'll come on to later, who's going to suspect the undercover cop of being the mole? That's too obvious, right? And I was like, that's exactly what I said. Look back through the comments. Look back through the comments. I'm sure I wrote that at some point. I feel so vindicated, so happy. I literally felt like I could jump off the ceiling. Because I was like, right, I know I was completely wrong with Ryan and Melissa. And they were the two that I was throwing my weight behind. And Michael. Even though Michael's got some answering for. Michael, I need an answer to the whole, you said blue, so I cut yellow. I feel like I need to get that on a t-shirt. You said blue, so I cut yellow. I need that. Like, that might be my merch in the future. You said blue, so I cut yellow. It just makes me so angry. God. So anyway, back to Sean as the mole. So, let's talk through who actually won the show. Because who won the show is the most important part of this. Came down to Michael and Muna. Both of them picked Sean. So really, it just came down to who actually had picked the most correct answers. And I gotta say, it was close. 2 correct answers separated the two of them. I was really hoping Muna would win. I really, really was. Purely because I didn't want to gift the blue and yellow guy any more money. But Michael did end up winning. And I gotta say, fair game, well done to him for working it out. He's been on to Sean for a hot minute, I will say, for a hot minute. So I can't really fault him for that. I'll give him props where props are due. But my God, I'm still so upset about the whole clipping the... Oh, let me stop talking about it. I feel like I need to go to therapy for it. Because I don't think I'm ever going to get over it. But Michael did win 154,000. Very, very well done. Even Moon was like, I can't be angry about it because I got outplayed. It's cool. It's fine. It's chill. And I was like, you are a better person than me because I would be crying right now. I've just lost 154k. Yeah, that's it. Yeeting myself off a bridge. No, I'm joking. But still, I would be pretty upset, I won't lie. So obviously, what is the whole game plan for Sean? What was his game plan in this competition? I said early on in the competition there were a lot of references to poker and gambling, and obviously he is from Nevada, which is home to Las Vegas. So I feel like that was a cool connection. Whether it was sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Whether it was intentional or not, I feel like I was pretty happy that I noticed that. But he literally trained for this role. This is the kind of role that he is quite literally made a career out of. He has quite literally done this numerous times. The only difference is that he's around smart people this time. He says that criminals are dumb. You can get them to say anything. But with actual people who are smart and who are intelligent and trying to solve puzzles, it's really, really hard to keep up that pretense. So in the first episode, the challenge was the paintball challenge. And he just said that he purposely fumbled the paintballs. He was just too slow and made it out like, oh, yeah, oh, better luck next time. Then in the second challenge, he apparently cut the ropes too short. He cut them too short so that when they were making knots, it was harder to make knots out of. And then he was also poking holes in the wood so that water would fill it and then obviously would sink it. I thought that was a really, really smart strategy. I was like, rah, I didn't even notice him doing that. That's crazy. And obviously that's ultimately what sunk the raft, which is brilliant. Then in the next challenge was the heights one. He ain't scared of heights. He put that on the whole time. And actually, looking back, I was really impressed because I was like, damn, he's gotten over his fear of heights very quickly. He's rappelling down this building so well. How did I not figure that one out? Jeez. And apparently when he was in the room, I looked up an interview of him afterwards and he gave some extra details. When he was in the apartment, he said that he hid all of the batteries before they came down. And so that was what made Q have to look for batteries for so long. And then Hannah ended up finding some spare ones, but he was like hiding them in his boots. He also was inputting numbers into the safe so that whenever they put numbers into the safe, it would instantly be wrong. That was so smart. I wouldn't have even thought of doing that. Like, whilst no one's looking, just putting a couple of numbers in or putting a number in so that when they type in the number, it's instantly incorrect. I was blown away. I was like, rah, this man's actually a lot smarter than we give him credit for. So the gala episode rolls around. And do you remember when I said, oh, isn't it convenient that he chose the one person on that board who was the one person that they needed and then decided to swap them out so that when they actually came to finding that person, that picture wasn't there? Yeah, remember that? That was because he knew who it was. I called it episode 4. I was like, that's mad suspicious. Mad suspicious. And everyone was like, no, I don't think so. I don't think it's that obvious. Yeah, not listening to you guys in the comments anymore. I'm going to stick to my own thoughts and feelings from now on. Because some of y'all had me thinking it was Muna. And I was like, nah, surely it ain't Muna. It ain't Muna. And it wasn't Muna. And then obviously in the next challenge, he lied about voting for Muna. He kept on asking for clues to be used in like the water challenge with the iron, the weighing, the blowing up of the money. There was just a lot of things that he was doing. He also completely understood the pulley system as well. The pulley system for the museum task. And he was purposely counteracting it so that Michael wouldn't move. which is smart because they didn't even notice that he was doing it. Honestly, it was incredible. When it was doing the bidding war, he said, yeah, I instinctively said at the start, I'm going to give whatever money possible there is to get that exemption. And that made the bidding war start because that made Niche go, okay, well, I need to bid all the money then to get the exemption. He didn't even have to do anything most of the time. They lost the money for him. So smart. Sean, you've actually been a very, very good mole. I'll give you this. I'll give you this. I may have worked it out very quickly, but also, you did a lot of sneaky things that even I didn't notice. Like, a lot of the stuff that I've just said, I didn't really clock on to. So, yeah, that is all for this series. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, make sure to tune in tomorrow for the first episode of Big Brother US Season 26. It's a brand new series streaming on Paramount Plus in the US, I think Pluto TV in the US as well. And in the UK, well, you'll just have to look for a link in the description. And I'll leave it at that. But until then, thank you guys very, very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed and keep on ranting. Bye now.